everyone, I'm Lynette and this is Charm Grammy Crochet. Welcome to my yarn room. Today this video will be uploaded and viewable on June 15th. And I believe this is Charm Chatter 208, I think. And don't mind me, but I'm doing two videos in a row. So I did one for the 14th for the yarn swap. And now this is a kind of catch up Charm Chatter. So life has been a little busy. We're having some health issues with my stepfather, and so it's back and forth to the hospital, work, camper, blah 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 blah. And thank you for all of your good wishes for him. I know some of you know that there was things going on, and I appreciate all of your well wishes and prayers. So what has gone on? So on the weekends we like to go to the campground. And I pack for the campground. I pack yarn for the campground. I've done a video showing what I packed for the campground before. I have several crochet alongs that I am way behind on. Now I'm trying to get caught up. So I took all of those with me. I think there's like 5 projects that I took. And I'm gonna spend time at the hospital. I'm gonna spend time at the campground. And I am going to do a lot of crocheting. That is the plan. I can crochet while I sit with my dad at the hospital. I can crochet at the campground and just really want to chill. So I finally get there on Friday night and I bring all my bags in. I left my crochet hooks. I left my crochet hooks on the table with all the yarn bags were stacked up on the table to take with me. I had one project that I didn't bring up here. I'm trying to make a bag out of the leftover yarn from Amanda's beach cover-up. And the hook was in there. So I had one project I could work on, but I had about 4 yards of yarn left in the little plastic container with the yarn ball in it. Did not bring the other 2 skeins of yarn that I had, or balls of yarn that I had for that. I'm like, are you kidding me? How can I bring all these projects and forget my crochet hooks? And I keep them in a package, do I have them here? Yeah. So I keep all of my clovers in here. And I have stitch markers, and I have like everything you need in here. And I just throw it in my bags when I go. Then the one that I'm working on, my scissors are in here, and there's stitch markers, you can hear them. And like the crochet hook for the current project generally is in here. So these 2 things come with me everywhere I go. Except these 2 things were sitting on the table because I did not throw them in a bag. Well, there is a Dollar Tree on near the camper. So I thought, well, Dollar Tree sometimes has crochet hooks. I mean, they're the cheap little plastic ones, whatever. I actually have bought them before in case we do crochet club again. And I'm like, I could crochet with those for the weekend. It would be fine. So I used up my 4 yards of cotton for the beach bag I'm trying to crochet. Use that up. And the next morning, on Saturday morning, I'm going to go to Dollar Tree and find some crochet hooks, and then I'll be good to go. Dollar Tree, no crochet hooks. So I gave up on that idea, and I went to that Mark's store where I buy the cheap yarn that I can't get anymore there. They had some knitting needles, which I did not bring up here. But they had some knitting needles. They were very long, plastic set and a metal set. They were 2.5 millimeter and a 4.5 millimeter. So I bought a skein of white cotton yarn at Dollar Tree. And I bought those big long knitting needles. And look, I started making a wash rag. It's taken me 45 hours to get this far. The big long plastic crochet hooks were not very easy to work with, and my stuff was sliding off, and my loops were sliding off. I don't know how to add or how to, you know, when you crochet, you frog something and you get like one loop and you know where to go from there. There's all these loops. And if one falls off, I'm not even sure which one is the one that fell off. Well, they would slide off of the plastic hook really easy. And that was the 4.5. I really didn't want to use the even skinnier ones that were metal, but I bet they were pretty slippery too. So I was a little disappointed that they were harder and they were long and awkward, not really good for a beginner, I don't think. But I did happen to have, I think I got these in maybe a mystery bag, but these are clover and they're, I guess, bamboo. Takumi, Takumi, US 7, 4.5 millimeter, and it says clover on there. I hope that's not upside down for you. Well, it's sure not in focus. Focus. Okay, so I don't know if that's upside down for you, but anyway, I had these at home, and I stopped home before the hospital and picked up my hooks and picked up these bamboo, and I did work with them yesterday a little bit and added some more rows. I have to get 47 rows. This is the knit stitch. I get 47 rows and then we do a decrease. I think I'm at like 42 or something loops on my hook or my needle. It's not perfect, but it's a wash rag, so I really don't care. And I don't even know how to frog, because I don't know how you frog and not lose all those loops. So if I made a mistake, I tried to, like, when I dropped, you know, one fell off, I think I rescued it. I'm not really sure. But I just keep going with it because I don't know what else to do. I don't know how to fix anything. And I'm afraid if I try to frog and take it off the hook, off the stick, I'll never figure out how to get it back on. So no frogging at this point. It took me, honestly, I probably have 5 hours into this. It's a lot slower, but it was faster with these hooks or these needles than it was with the plastic. First of all, they were like hanging way out to here because they're very long. They were like 14 inches or 13 inches or something. These are much more easily workable. But it's not unenjoyable. I am enjoying it. This isn't my favorite stitch. She said something about this being, it's the knit stitch, and if you do like this, it's called stockinette. And this is continental versus what, I don't know. That's all I know. Stockinette, knit. I need 47 loops, and then I go back to the video, which I will link. It's Bonnie Baker, I believe. I will link it in there in case anybody else wants to learn how to knit. I don't know what is the stitch that I really like, but it's the one that looks like all the little V's that you make a sweater out of. I want to learn how to do that stitch because I want to learn how to make a sweater. That's always the, you know, the bucket list thing that was going around that I didn't do because there's so many on there. I can't even begin to want to tell you. But included in the bucket list of what you want to do, I want to learn. I'm not even going to say. I always want to call it you know, with the long crochet hook, I always want to call it tsunami, but that's not it. Anyway, I want to learn how to do that, and I've always wanted to learn how to knit. Not that crocheting isn't my first love, but I love a nice soft knit sweater like out of a real fine yarn. I love those, and I would love to be able to make those. I have lots of beautiful yarn that would make gorgeous sweaters. Not that crocheted sweaters aren't good, but I don't want a bunch of holes. The sweater that I made for Chloe that actually fit Amanda had like, I think it was a double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, so there was no holes, so it was solid. And that turned out great, and I loved it. And I would do that again to make sweaters. But I always wanted to try to make a sweater. And if it doesn't get faster than this, I could start a sweater now to have when I'm 95. And it's okay. I had fun with it, and it gave me something to do besides eat, which is what else I would be doing if I wasn't crocheting or now knitting. And the other thing that I worked on, and actually, and actually finished before the weekend was over and I had to come home, was my Nan's Next Knots. So if you're unfamiliar, I will link Nan's Next Knots. You have a base color, and mine is this Oxford Gray Pound of Love. And you do 3 rows of your base color in the stitch pattern, and then you do 3 rows of the color that she picked this week. This week she picked number 5. This is my number 5, and this is yarn that I got from that Mark's store. So it's labeled under Dreamweaver. Can't get it anymore, but this is the color in my number 5. And that's that. And so I did get my 6 rows on. I tend to do the base rows the week before, so I didn't weave in these ends because I didn't have my weaver ender thing in the, I can't think of it, the darning needle. I did not have one, so it's going this way. So this is like week number 1, and now on to week number 17. So we have 3 more weeks, and then the basicness of the Ruana will be done, because I'm making mine into a Ruana. And I'm going to use a variegated, it's a Princess is the name of the yarn. I don't have it with me. And that is going to be the border, and I haven't determined what colors I'm making the pockets, but I do have pockets in mine, and it's going to be this long on me, which like all the way down. So that'll be very nice for around the campfire. I will be all toasty warm and like in a blanket that fits. It's a wearable blanket. That's basically what I'm making here. A wearable blanket with pockets, because everybody needs pockets. So that's my finished object, because it's finished for the week. And a new whip, which really I didn't need a new whip, but I needed something to do, so that's what you do, right? When you don't have any hooks, you improvise and you learn to knit. So one day I will be good at knitting as Gary from Urban Yarns, and I'll make beautiful knitted things like he does. Yeah, right. One can only aspire. So I can put away Nan's Next Knots till Thursday, which from the time of this video airing will be only 2 days, and then I'll be behind on Nan's Next Knots again, but I did get it caught up. I did not, there's a lot of travel time in getting to and from the hospital and the campground and the hospital. So I feel like I've spent the majority of my weekend in the car. And at the hospital, he sleeps a great deal, but people are coming in and out, and there's updates and whatever. I think he will probably be transferred to rehab on Tuesday. Today, as of actually filming this, it's Monday, so I think tomorrow he might be transferred to rehab, which is a good thing. And, it's a step in the right direction. So that's all I have for you for this video. Thanks for watching, sharing, liking, subscribing, and being a part of my yarn journey. Have a totally awesome day, and I'll see you tomorrow in my Charming Yarny Swap, our hashtag Charming Yarny Swap. If you haven't paid attention to those videos, check it out. You can just put in the hashtag. Don't forget to send to Wings. The crochet wash rags for Wings. I thought this one would go to the Wings. No, it might go to washing the car. But hey, gotta start somewhere, right? I have not been back to my post office box for the Wings stuff since I was there the last time. I just haven't had time to get there. I know you all understand life, and so I appreciate your patience with that. When I was at the Dollar Tree, I did get the tickets to write your names on, and so those who have already sent in the wash rags, I will be doing those tickets at the hospital later on today when I go back. Again, thanks for watching, sharing, liking, subscribing. Have a totally awesome day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.